Welcome back to the Takacs McGinnis Elder Care Law Hour. Still joining me is Dennis Clifford, Regional Director of the Electronic Caregiver. We've been recently going over some of the functionality of the GPS options on the device, and I think we have some visual aids so people can see how this works. Can we bring that up on the screen? So here we go. This is a great example here of how it can monitor your loved one traveling. And so the GPS will ping every few minutes and you can see where they are. Dennis, you want to go in on this?
Yeah, it works off of the cellular platform. We work off of AT&T's cellular platform. So just like you said, it pings off the cell towers. You take your GPS locator, your handset with you. This also provides two-way communication. So whether you're traveling around town, going to the grocery store, going to church, going to get your hair done, you know, like you did, or you're going on a trip like your dad lives in Michigan and he would drive all the way down here to Nashville. You can see where he is, you can check in on him whenever you want, and you know what, if he goes east at Louisville and is heading towards Lexington instead of south towards Nashville, you're going to know that something's up and you can, you know, get in touch with him or alert emergency services also.
That's right, and on my app I also have the ability to hit locate at that minute. So if it hasn't updated in a few minutes or maybe in the last hour for one reason or another, I can hit the locate button and it'll give me the most recent coordinate immediately, which is a very nice solution. Yeah. So let's transition to talking about messaging and what's the functionality with messaging and medication reminders. Walk us through that, Dennis.
Well, we can preset medication reminders for any time throughout the day. They can be as general as it's time to take your medications, or it can be as detailed as take ABC medication, XYZ medication, and LMNOP medication. It can be an automated system. This will chime. It'll actually chime 3 times every 5 minutes. You would respond that you've taken your medication. If there's no response, then of course we go through the emergency response, whether that would be you or someone maybe local or closer to the family, or even emergency services if we feel that's needed. But we're going to remind them, and you can even record your voice as a caregiver, as a family member, so that it's more familiar to remind your loved one to take their medications.
So it's not just some synthetic robotic device voice telling them what to do, but it can actually be my voice or another family member's voice. It's saying, hey, it's time to do this, or it's time to take X medication.
Definitely. You can also send just a message saying, hey, mom or dad, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing good or you're feeling well. Or you could, even if they're local and you're going to take them to, say, a doctor's appointment at 10:30 tomorrow morning, you can set a message, record it today, and set it to send to your mom or dad tomorrow at 10 saying, I'll be there to pick you up in a couple minutes. We're going to the doctor, don't forget. And it's in your voice, so it's more personalized too.
That is fantastic. Now, what happens when these are not acknowledged? If someone doesn't acknowledge one of these messages, you said it reminds 3 times and then it starts with the emergency call response. Walk us through that.
Well, we set it up. You can set it up for a home care company to be contacted. You can set it up to be family members, friends, a next door neighbor, and we set it up in the order that you decide that you want, whether that be contact emergency services first thing if there's not a response to the handset, or contact, you know, my brother that lives a mile away, or Gene who lives next door, to go over and check on them.
So I can have them call me first before it becomes some big emergency, and I can just make a phone call, make sure everything's fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you do press the emergency response button, you do need help. We have EMT trained operators. So they're trained in geriatrics, they're trained in a number of different things. So a lot of times they can help solve a problem without dispatching emergency services if it's not totally necessary.
Now, can I set this up so I get alerts and notifications just as a matter of routine?
You definitely can. You can choose to get text alerts, email alerts. You can get alerts for whatever it may be, if it's a missed medication or anytime the button's pushed. If they have the fall pendant, you get an alert anytime there's any activity like that. You can also set it up to have activity check-ins. So if someone's active during a couple certain times of the day, all it would do is ask them to acknowledge that, hey, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm active. You just press a button after it reminds you.
And that fall pendant, so if they fall and they're wearing that fall pendant, they don't even have to push anything. It's a device that actually knows that they've fallen at that point and will start the emergency process without it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, a lot of times dealing with elders and as an attorney, when they have a fall, you hit your head or you're unconscious for a time. So that's a great way to make sure that that golden hour and that treatment is met in a timely manner.
Very good. Now there's one last feature. We have about a minute left, Dennis. If you could briefly touch on the Pocket MD, because I think that's a wonderful aspect of this.
It really is. And what it is it's a 24-hour doctor on call. So you could press a button, tell the EMT operator, I'm not feeling well, whatever it may be, and can you connect me to a doctor? The response time is usually under 15 minutes for that. And the doctor would call you. You would describe your symptoms to them. They can even FaceTime you if you have the ability to do that. They can call in a prescription to your local pharmacy that can be picked up, within an hour or the next morning. What a lot of the clients like to do, especially since they're seniors, is especially during flu season, they don't want to go into a doctor's office and expose themselves to the flu. So they can just say, hey, I've got a cold or I've got a sinus infection. I'll talk to my doctor on the Pocket MD.
That is fantastic, Dennis. I believe your contact information is up on the screen. Again, that's Dennis Clifford, the Regional Director of the Electronic Caregiver. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is an absolutely great product. Now, following us up will be our Public Benefits Specialist, Joshua Hunter, and he'll be speaking with the VA about telehealth. Thank you so much.